This thing's glitching out, guys. Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't see... Oh, there they are. Okay, here we go. What's up, Ruben? Sorry, guys. All right, Ruben said, can't wait. Your videos put me in such a good mood, man. Well, thank you. All right. Connected with nature. Guys, last video with intermittent fapping was so funny. You know? We're talking about masturbation fasts. How did that come up? Intermittent fapping. That is pretty funny. Maybe we should take some clips. We should be pulling clips from some of these live videos. Some of the best stuff just gets lost in these live ones. All right. Well, thanks for the kind words, Zach Fleshman. Zach said your family is a testament of reason, an understanding of good and truth, and a corrupted universe wrought with unnecessary suffering. That's a beautiful thing to say. I don't know if I live up to that. Check this out, guys. A visitor. Hey, Fetzello. What's up, buddy? Come here. Come here. Come on. Yeah. Hello, beautiful. What's up, buddy? All right. All right, live YouTube. I'm glad it's working now. I've had some issues with, this is an iPhone 7, I think. Not the newest one. But I've had issues lately. Since updating the iOS, I had issues with live YouTube and with live Facebook. Aaron Burrows, what's up, man? Connected with nature, says, finally, Tristan. Ron says, good morning from Chicago. How is it good morning from Chicago? You guys are East Coast time, right? What's a good afternoon? Aaron Burrows says, you got a Pokemon. All right. So what do you guys want to talk about today? I actually did a live. We got Victoria, British Columbia. What's up? Ron is Central Time, 11:40. I guess that could technically be considered morning time. I'm sitting outside getting a little bit of natural light as well as a little bit of red light. Ariana's lurking on me.
Honey and yogurt.
Eating honey and yogurt. And we got a horse begging for carrots in the background over there. All right. So what do you guys want to talk about today? I might have used up all my words last night. I talked on Facebook Live in this Facebook group called Keto for Beginners for like 2 hours. Here, Jessica's gonna take over. I have nothing to say. I don't know. No one has questions and I have nothing to say.
I just made spirulina chocolates inspired by our last YouTube hangout we did.
What was it inspired by?
Because
what did we
people
talk
have been
about?
asking us a lot about spirulina and chlorella.
People are
every
really
single hangout.
Yeah, you know, people are really inspired by intermittent fapping, which we talked about. I guess we talked about it in the last hangout.
I don't understand the joke. I don't get it.
Okay.
But I made my chocolates, and they're good. It's I melted cacao butter, and then I added equal parts cacao butter and cacao powder. And I weighed out each ingredient and add equal parts, and then spirulina powder, some classic Lecanto, which is erythritol and monk fruit extract, and a little bit of peppermint spirits. And now they're in the freezer, chilling.
Wow. That sounds pretty epic. Why didn't you save all those ingredients for that pie that we're supposed to make soon, that we've been trying to make for like 2 weeks?
There's more.
Okay.
Yeah. And then in the oven, I have a piece of swordfish with roasted garlic and fennel going.
Crazy. Crazy. All right.
Lunchtime.
You mix your maca with how much MCT and what else? All right, when you take maca, how much MCT do you put? I mean, however much you want. Now, if you're using maca, like 1 to 3 teaspoons. MCT, 1 to 3 teaspoons.
I think it would depend on your macros, right? How much fat you want. And then I usually do it for texture. I like it. You have to get the perfect consistency, not too runny and not too chunky.
Ron made the all-purpose keto bread earlier this week. It was great. Thanks for the recipe.
What did you do with it? Did you make sandwiches or French toast?
Grilled cheese.
Spread butter.
Ariana says grilled cheese, of course.
I like it with just butter.
Aaron says, I haven't had a chance to see your videos on the red light. I haven't made any videos strictly on red light yet. I've referenced it and talked a little bit about it in some hangouts and stuff. Actually, I'm usually using it while I'm multitasking. I'm usually using it while I'm doing these live events. What's up, Kick-Ass Keto? It is a beautiful day today. A little bit cloudy. A little bit beautiful. All right. Gary R says coffee, question mark. Yeah, coffee exists. Connected with nature. Good evening from Poland. That's cool, Poland. Switzerland, Poland. Mutant Star says trying the no-fap challenge soon. Haha. Apparently it reduces social anxiety, and as an introverted person, anything that reduces anxiety for me is a godsend. Try it, man. Just go like a week. Go a week. No fap. Go a month. Go a year. Ooh. When you think about how much energy you're actually wasting, mental, emotional, dopamine centers getting hit when you're, pornography, masturbation, when you're overdoing these things, doing a fast from some of these behaviors can be really beneficial. Check out Jessica's bouncing. All right. Ron Lewin says he made sandwiches, toast, French toast, and grilled cheese.
Oh, well done.
That's a no-purpose keto bread. So you guys could find that recipe. We put that recipe up, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
No, more than that. It's on our YouTube and on primaledgehealth.com.
The recipe is up for free at primaledgehealth.com. And if you guys want to check out the book that it comes from, the book is called The Ultimate Guide to Low-Carb Baking. And Jessica worked her butt off on that for the last year. There's Ariana jumping with food. No, honey and yogurt jumping. That's very dangerous. All right. Hey from UK gang, Tristan, Jessica, Ariana, and Ryder. 2 degrees Celsius, 35 degrees Fahrenheit here. 3 layers on. Wow. North Carolina, Holly Newman just snowed, and I got the cube steak Venegan in the snow.
I think the seasonal change is really special.
Yeah.
It's nice. Gives you a different perspective on where you live. You get to see it through the changes.
Mutant Stoner asked if we found our dog. Yeah, we found our dog. He's great now. He decided he wants to live more.
Yeah.
We thought he was dying like a week ago. Like we really, he kept wandering off for a long time. He had no control of his bodily function. He lost so much weight in the last few years. And he's got, just a lot of issues. He's 9.
We've had to hunt for him in the nighttime with our flashlights. Hey, please don't jump on this one.
Go.
I found him down, curled up in this little nest by some banana trees. He was asleep.
Yeah, he was asleep. I think he'd been doing that. He'd been wandering down there, and he would get really tired and maybe a little bit confused and lost, and he would just plop down and sleep. But we really thought he was going to pass, like last week. But it's crazy, and it sounds insane. We started putting him in front of this light, and he started eating again.
Really amazing.
We started putting him in front of this light for several hours a day, laying him down and putting the light, laying down on its side next to him. And it's crazy. He's like starting to gain weight back. I mean, he's very old, he's got issues, and he's not, it's crazy. He wants to be around some more. But the light really turned him around. I'm not sure if it was just a coincidence or what. 16 months is really long, intermittent fapping. Yeah, but you can intermittent fap for like a 12-hour window. You can intermittent fap for like 16-hour window. I say start with a 16-hour window of intermittent fapping, and then just like see if you can just stop jerking your knob all the time and maybe do things that are more productive. It's just like the less time you spend whacking off, the more time you could spend doing things that are not whacking off. And like for all of you like 13 to 30-year-olds out there, I mean most people that are from like 20 to 30 are pretty sterile and have really low sex drive now because their diets are shitty. But
it's so sad.
Isn't it sad? And everybody just masturbates and don't connect with people. It sounds like I'm making a huge joke, but no, really, like drop the fapping, guys. Just see what happens. Drop the fapping, see what happens. What are you gonna lose? Maybe your virginity. Confused and lost, like many people sometimes. What do you mean, confused and lost? Yeah, our dog confused and lost. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh,
I don't know.
He is.
Yeah.
He can be.
Everybody can be. Okay.
No.
John T. Thor says lots of 13-year-olds on the channel lately. Probably not. Probably not a single 13-year-old is watching. They're watching like, what do 13-year-olds watch?
The Pootie Pie.
Pootie Pie. They watch Pootie Pie now, says Jessica.
So
the Pootie Pie.
Who is an expert on these things of 13-year-olds?
Who's PewDiePie?
This guy.
The Pootie Pie. She called him. She watched the Pootie Pie. What does Pootie Pie do?
Well, they're fapping.
They're fapping. Zach Fleshman says my fap testing strips are still putting me in the impotent rage range. Yeah. Well, you need a lot of fap testing strips, which is basically they're cheap though. It's just a roll of toilet paper. I'm gonna have to remove this live hangout. Like, this can't stay up. This is too much. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that he's doing good, says Mutant Stoner. Yeah, we're glad he's doing well. It's weird though. I mean, we've got a whole Doug for him and everything, and he just decides, all right, I'm gonna be all right now. He's still panting a lot for no reason, and he's having a hard time. But you know what? He doesn't feel pain. He doesn't experience. I don't know. She's not showing any fear, and we love Duke. He's 9. He's really awesome. All right. Sean Emberts, what's up with the red light? What are you like from planet Krypton? Try again. That was almost like funny. The red. I'm more like, what are you in a rave? Hey, stop, Ari.
Do you want some tea? Is red rooibos with
Aaron
ginger?
Burrows is laughing too loud. He's gonna lose his house from punching his walls. What is this?
Red rooibos tea with ginger.
Red rooibos tea. I'm gonna show them. All right. So,
I can share an anecdote.
Tristan, you should create
with the red
some.
light about this morning.
All right, anecdote from Jessica.
Yeah.
Red light anecdote. So, all right, so you're asking about the red light. What was it? Sean Baker? What's your name? What's your last name? Sean something. Where'd it go? No, Sean Baker was that other guy I was listening to the other day. All right, Sean's asking about the red light. No, not on planet Krypton, but we are from Krypton. This is called the Joovv. It's Joovv. Look at this huge thing. This massive panel of
It's
lights.
like 3 feet, right?
Yeah, so this thing can treat kind of your whole body. It's way above my head right now. I should lower it. Red light in both the 660 nanometer range and 810 nanometer range are shown to improve mitochondrial function. It's when you actually, I mean, I don't even want to get into it because I'm tired as heck right now. But here's what I'll say about this. If I were to actually put the energy into clearly and cogently describing all the benefits of red light therapy, the Joovv and stuff like that, you would think I'm full on lying. You would totally think that I'm like lying to you and just making shit up.
Because the benefits.
Because
are
it's
so
so
amazing.
ridiculously, like, I was just talking about our dog. He was like dying the other day. We put him in front of this light for a few hours. The next day he was eating. I don't know. Maybe it was just a fluke thing and he got sick or something. But there's a lot of things. I mean, his mouth is full of tumors and stuff. And we thought it was his last day. We put him in front of this, and every single day he's been doing more and more. If I move out of the way, it gets real bright in Jessica's face. It's incredible. So, anyways, like I don't even feel like going into fully in depth on the details of it. I want to throw it over to Jessica, and she'll give you an anecdote on the red light.
I'll tell you my story. So last night, Ryder, he started teething again. And so we were up for a little bit. And then this morning, I think we got up before dawn, like 4:30 maybe. And then this morning, I rocking him back to sleep, and I put him down. And then I come over, and I lay this light sideways next to a bed that we have. So it's resting on a platform, and I can lay down, and the light is long ways going with my body. And we're just laying next to each other, me and the light. And I ended up nodding off just for a bit. And when I wake up, I realized first I fell asleep, and then I'm just awake, and I feel so charged. I feel better from taking that 20 to 30 minute nap in front of this light than I did for the 5 or 6 hours that I was in the bed sleeping. That was amazing for me. I really like doing it in the morning. It was a great way to start the day. Ariana likes it too.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel from it?
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesomeness. And it's been really profound to see how our dog has reacted to it. He'll just sit in front of it. And he's 9, and I think in all of his years, he's never refused food until this last week when he wasn't feeling so well. And it's all turning around, so we'll see what happens.
Jessica, I've asked before, but don't think you saw it. Wondering about your background with cooking. Are you completely self-taught? What's inspired you the most? For me, it's cooking for the people I love.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun one.
I taught Jessica to cook.
In some ways you have, right? Because you're so extremely critical. Just kidding.
Because I cook better than you. All right, go. Stop. We're done. Bye-bye.
I don't have any technical... I've never been to school for it.
There's Duke right over there, you guys. You see him? He's laying over there by the boots. He's chilling.
I was around...
She's gone through so many different incarnations of, like, learning how to cook healthy foods. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And my mom, she was a stay-at-home mom, and she would cook a lot from scratch. And so I've been exposed to a lot of different ways.
You've been cooking with your mom since you're a little baby.
Yeah. I got really into baking when I was in 6th grade is when it all started. I just really like it. Lots of experimenting.
What's, like, one of the coolest parts about cooking for you?
When I get to cook for you and you like it.
Which is, like, everything you make. Getting dizzy and lightheaded after lunch. Anyone had anything similar happen to them? This is weird. I get better in half an hour. All right. That dizzy and lightheaded after lunch, that sounds like some sort of maybe a gut microbiome imbalance. But, I mean, there could be many causes.
Could it have anything to do with blood sugar?
Could be your blood sugar goes super high. I mean, there could be many different things. But if you say you just started experiencing this recently, I mean, I'm assuming you're relating this to you starting a ketogenic diet. If you're saying that after you started keto, you started getting dizziness and lightheadedness after meals, it could be that you're just low on electrolytes. You could need some sodium, magnesium, and potassium. Sean's living in northern Wisconsin. I worry I don't get enough sun over the winter months. Thanks for the info about the red light. All right, so red light, this doesn't have UV. So it won't burn you. It won't make you tan. You still want UVA and UVB light. What this is specific frequencies of red and near infrared light, which are incredibly beneficial. To actually get this amount of red and near infrared light from the sun, you'd have to be outside for like 80 to 120 minutes in peak sun at the equator to get this amount of these frequencies of the 660 nanometer and 810 nanometers of light. So it's like a lot. It's a pretty...
That's amazing.
It's a pretty powerful thing. It doesn't give you full spectrum sunlight like the sun, right? There's nothing that's going to replace the sun, but this thing is absolutely incredible. When you look at like the research on red light therapy, near infrared light therapy, and the 660 nanometer red light therapy, the low-hanging fruit is skin health. I mean, look at Jessica's skin. Do like a head shake, like a fantastic.
What, like a Pantene.
Look at my skin. Look at it. It's amazing. So, I mean, the low-hanging fruit for people is skin health. So a lot of people, there's actually salons where you can get red light treatment for skin. And that's how this thing was developed. The developers, actually, the guy made it for his wife. She started getting red light therapy on her skin, and it cleared up psoriasis and stuff like that. And then she started getting gut imbalances, started correcting themselves, and her digestion started improving. But essentially, here's one little nugget. Do some research into Dr. Gerald Pollack's work. He wrote a book called The Fourth Phase of Water. So if you take water and you put it in a hydrophilic substance, such as the blood in our veins.
What does hydrophilic mean?
Hydrophilic is water-loving. So hydrophilic versus hydrophobic substance. So proteins that are in our body will make the water be surrounded by a hydrophilic substance. When you blast certain frequencies of light, these frequencies of light, and UV, on water, it actually charge separates. And it also charge separates when it's in a hydrophilic substance, like a clay vessel or something like that. So when you're charging up in front of one of these lights, it'll penetrate deep into your skin and it'll actually affect the water in your body, helping it to charge separate and create electrical current and create energy in the body. So the mitochondria are actually able to function better in the presence of red light, which will liberate nitric oxide and vasodilate you as well. But liberating that nitric oxide is a lot more than just vasodilation. So there's a lot going on here, essentially allowing your body to create more energy in the absence of food, meaning less hunger for some people. So actually some people, actually most people, think about when you go outside in the sun. First of all, your blood sugar drops, vitamin D drops your blood sugar, you're getting the vasodilation effects. Think about how good you feel.
And relaxing.
How relaxing it can be too. So when we are in the winter months, it can be really hard to get enough sunlight, to get enough natural light, and a lot of people are going to be in artificial light all day long. So this is a way that you can actually supplement with light. And I feel instant pain relief from it. If I have something that's sore, I feel instant pain relief, mood boost. I mean, there's a lot going on. Look up red light therapy. Do some research on the scientific studies on red light therapy. This particular light right here is a big, powerful light. This isn't like just one of these little reptile lights you'll see, or one of these little grow lights that you'll see. This is a huge panel of LEDs, and it's got fans in it to keep it cool. This throws out a lot of energy, so you can treat yourself in like 10-15 minutes with this. So I'll do one side of my body, and then I'll do the other. I'll do various parts for various reasons, and it greatly affects recovery, energy levels, and inflammation levels. So,
do you have a link in the description? People can check out more?
Yeah, I got a link in the description.
That could be helpful.
You can check the link in the description for the Juve light. And if you end up interested in it, you can... here, you talk. I don't care. I talk way too much. You just talk all the time. Bye.
Jason, don't go. I fell off a horse the other week. We were going through this narrow little trail, and I didn't judge it quite right. I fell off a bit and nicked my knee. But I've been healing in front of this light, and I have minimal issues with me. Some bruising, but not so bad. Okay, scrolling through the comments here. I'm not sure where Tristan left off here. Never done a hangout by myself. Let's see. Alright, here we go. Found our spot.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. Here, I'll talk more. Drink some water. Alright, anyways, yeah, if you're interested in the red light therapy, do some research on it. Do a little bit of research on certain frequencies of light. Look into Dr. Gerald Pollack's work. That's very telling and interesting, especially for kind of connecting the dots of some of the nerdy stuff that I was just talking about. Do you have any suggestions on an inexpensive near-infrared light bulb? No, I wouldn't waste my time. Like, it's just like even with a big panel like this, it takes 10 to 20 minutes to fully treat an area. So I'm not really interested in anything smaller. I'm actually looking at getting bigger units and adding more power. So I wouldn't waste my time with something smaller.
Ryder must have just woke up. I hear Ariana cooing.
Yeah. Hi from Iowa. Thank you for all you do. Just got the baking cookbook. It's awesome. Getting a family on board with it. I've been keto 9+ months, down 44 pounds. Went from 3 migraines a week to 0. Jessica's got experience with that. You want to talk about migraines? Here, take it. I don't want to hold it.
There's not much to say. I mean, I used to get migraines, and now I don't. I think electrolyte balance is really important for me, as is staying hydrated. Drinking a lot of water, but there's definitely I noticed a big shift when I started the keto, and then the more I go into it, less inflammation maybe. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah, Jessica used to get really bad migraines. It was freaky. She'd be laying in bed and just like
horrible.
Her eyes would get all dilated, and I could just tell she was in loads of pain. There's nothing I could do. The problem with living in Arizona is during the summer, there's a lot of people who flee from the sun and don't get enough vitamin D. That's funny. Yeah, Arizona's crazy, right? Super intense sun. Where in Arizona are you?
I like that comment that we were just reading about the woman who's helping her family get on board with healthy eating.
Yeah.
With the baking book.
Right.
Because it's such a nice tool where you can really gather groups of people who are into different types of eating together with yummy food.
Well, it's the time of year too, so all the people's families are getting together. Everybody's talking about the holidays and whatnot. So I think it's really important that let's see. I think it's really important that people start to consider other people in their food prep. You know, I mean, it's when you, I don't know, what's one of their favorite recipes for like bridging the gap for other people from the new book? We put up a few recipes in the last few weeks. I think one of the best ones is that carrot cake recipe. That one's really good.
The coffee cake.
The coffee cake recipe is good too.
Mm-hmm.
And What else?
And a savory one.
Yeah, you made that meat pie. That meat pie was really good.
Oh yeah. Well, quiches.
Just feed them. Just make
Quiche.
really good keto foods and share them with your friends and family.
Yeah.
Don't tell them anything about keto foods. Don't tell them anything about like the diet or anything. Just watch them enjoy the foods and then let the conversation flow from there.
If they're interested. If not,
it doesn't even have to be a conversation.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, they like the steak. You watch them. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe next time they come over, you make something else. You know, like some creamy mushroom sauce thing, or like, oh, that's another good recipe.
There's meatloafs. There's quiches in there. There's
Quiches are
smoked
nice.
salmon ricotta tart.
Quiches are really good for kids. Just go back to
Yeah.
that. And the muffin cups.
Yes.
Or what are they called? Egg cups?
Egg
Egg
cups.
muffins or whatever?
There's all of those.
There's all those
There are
things.
all of the-
You can call it whatever you want.
One of Ariana's favorite recipes, savory recipe in that book, was a cheesy broccoli garlic stick.
Susie says exactly. You're an inspiration, Jessica.
Oh,
She is. She's amazing. That's why I just keep trying to give her the... You know when you've done so many YouTube live things and Facebook live things that your face hurts from talking? That's how I feel right now. I'm not complaining. I love talking to you guys. All right, I love cooking for people I love, especially when you know it's nutrient dense.
Yes.
I have cooked for decades. I learned through trial and error.
Yes.
Yet I still get the occasional fail.
Me too.
Yeah, you always get fails.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll get a fail with a recipe that you like have done a million times before, and you're just like, what the heck happened? Jessica, you should create some photo with full makeup for Instagram. Some
Full makeup.
photo. She doesn't wear makeup.
I don't own makeup.
Yeah, we don't do that kind of lame shit. But connected with nature, you should go put on makeup and get on Instagram. You should get naked on Instagram. You'd have big potential.
Nakedgram.
Nakedgram, yeah. You should go on Tinder. You have really good potential. What are your thoughts on keto/low carb and gout? The gout flare-ups I've had become more frequent since I went low carb. That's an interesting thing. There's been a few people who've told me that their gout flare-ups have been more frequent, and then other people who've told me that it completely cured them of gout. So this is a very strange phenomenon, the gout issue. High uric acid levels, so there could be uric acid in food. It could be toxic load preventing the liver from filtering properly. There could be kidney things going on. I don't know. The gout thing, that confuses me because a lot of people, and if you look up studies on ketogenic diet and gout, it's been used effectively as a treatment for gout. So it's hard to answer that question when there's so much evidence for the opposite effect being very pronounced. My cousins are always asking me to make the blueberry scones. I add macadamia nuts as well.
Nice. Good
I
choice.
forgot about the blueberry scones. That one's really good.
Yeah.
So if you guys are going to make, let's give a list of some of the recipes for people to consider for the holidays. Right?
Okay.
So Christmas party at work.
Maybe some
kids.
ginger snap cookies.
Ooh.
Of
Of course, the carrot cake, the macadamia nut cake, or the what's it called, the coffee cake, carrot cake, and the other one, the blueberry scones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, go. Pumpkin cookies. Low carb pumpkin muffins. There are.
But also just like the broccoli muffins. There's a picture on our Instagram of somebody made the broccoli muffins with jalapenos and cheese.
Yes.
And it looked amazing.
Yes.
So we've done that one too, but this
It's in the
person
book.
made it look. It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
There's a
forgot.
broccoli bread recipe.
Okay, so she made it in muffins.
Yeah.
So try that one. That one's in the which one? The Ultimate Guide to Low Carb Baking.
The baking book.
And then the beginner's book, the first book that came out about a year ago now, is the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook. We call that the training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. And that one is much better for beginners, for just kind of bringing you up to speed and learning how to.
I would say it has more everyday food.
Yeah.
You know, things that you can make staples and rotate into your food prep. Like very reliable, time-tested recipes that are super easy to make.
The baking book gives you a lure to catch people into keto. Keto coffee cake. I'm trying to get my husband totally on board.
Yeah.
Find some simple staple meals too. So it's a good lure, but also start making your husband like some eggs and some grass-fed beef sausage, or just find something like eggs and bacon or whatever it is he likes. Some people just like
cheesy meatloafs.
Yeah.
Or low carb casseroles.
Yeah, whatever it is your husband will eat every morning. Find a breakfast that he likes that's keto. Prepare it for him every day, and then go from there.
I actually get more hyped on finding savory, like staple recipes that I can incorporate more than the sweet recipes, because It's awesome to find those, but you can't make a healthy, like, sustainable diet just on.
Yeah, you're not gonna eat blueberry scones every freaking day.
Unfortunately.
Right? You gotta like, those are a nice bridge, and it's, you know, great for kids, parties, stuff like that. And, you know, a few times a week, awesome. But it's like blueberry scones every day. You know, maybe like one, like with a meal each day, but it's, you want to eat
with an omelet on the side.
You want to have simple staples that you can eat all the time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really cool simple staples in the Ketogenic Edge cookbook. Do you have any cheese recipes in your cookbook? Have you made any handcrafted cheeses?
Oh, why, yes, I have.
She's made a lot of cheeses.
Thank you for asking.
But there's no cheese recipes like for how to make cheese. There's not like a cheese making guide.
In
That's
the-
like a whole other book.
In our training manual, the Ketogenic Edge cookbook, there is a homemade cream cheese recipe and there is a homemade sour cream recipe.
I was wrong.
So I put those in there because I do think it's really cool, and I like kind of inciting people like, oh, I didn't even realize how easy this was to make.
All those cream
home.
cheeses at the stores, they have carrageenan.
There's a lot of
potassium sorbate and just all these like additives and fillers.
But it's very easy to make at your house, and you can do it in about 24 hours.
I agree with the savory diet staples. The cheesy meatloaf sounds good. Yeah, Michelle, make that one for your husband. That cheesy meatloaf is really, really good.
Yep. And frittatas, too. That's a nice way. It's kind of like baking an omelet.
Connected with Nature says, Tristan, did you hear about Epsom salt? Of course I heard about Epsom salt. Epsom salts are awesome. It's a good way of getting your electrolytes up, getting magnesium up, because magnesium can be actually absorbed through the skin really effectively. Alistair likes the shortbread cookies.
Yes.
I'm considering Christmasing them up with a little cinnamon and cacao.
That sounds sweet.
Christmasing them up. That's a good idea.
It's either an almond or a hazelnut spritz cookie with sugar-free cranberries. That's very winter holiday.
Cranberries and lemons sound very seasonal.
Hey,
that's a great
exactly.
addition. Look at that. He read your mind before you even read your mind.
Well done.
He biohacked your brain.
Uh-oh.
I have brine left from fermenting hot pepper for hot sauce. It is spicy. Any ideas how to use it? When you're making ground beef or something like that, put a little bit of it in there with the meat and let it just kind of simmer through it and let the oils permeate through there.
I was thinking as a meat marinade. You might want to do that. If you put your meat in a Ziploc bag, you add in the brine and then maybe some other herbs like cilantro or parsley or oregano, and you can leave it in your fridge for up to 24 hours probably.
Do you ever cheat on your diet?
No, we don't have to.
You don't have to. Yeah, it's like we just eat healthy. Like we don't have like this crazy rigid diet dogma where we have to do this impossible thing that's torturous and boring. It's like we enjoy what we eat. And one of the coolest things about eating a healthy diet, one of the coolest things about eating a nutrient-dense diet is you're looking at food as nourishment. You're looking at food as a source of energy, not as a source of pleasure, right?
Or distraction.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is pleasurable. It's super pleasurable.
Yeah.
And it's not about not having pleasure from food, but it's about not obsessing and fetishizing just that simple pleasure that's so transient, and you focus on the after effects. Like when you eat a meal, how do you feel 30 minutes later?
Which is where the pleasure for me really lies. And that's kind of the essence of what I was saying earlier. When you look at how you're formulating your diet, if you have, if your majority of the sweet things and the majority of the like keto-fied, like high carbohydrate foods, versus.
But that's even a stupid word. I was thinking about the other day, like, keto-fied foods, but it's like, so anything you cook in an oven is that keto-fied food, right? Like if you take coconut flour and eggs and you make like a so-called pancake. Yeah. Oh, it's just keto-fied food. But it's like, that's just what you do with nuts and seeds and flours. You mix it with the egg, you cook it. And I don't know. I think people are just so dumb with their dogma. People like to scoff at others and elevate themselves above. And it's like, look, if somebody's going to make, if you're going to take some almond flour, a little bit of flax, and some walnuts and macadamia nuts,
sounds like
bake it together in that coffee cake. Well, you call it a coffee cake, and it tastes good, it tastes sweet and stuff, but I don't know, it's like, people are crazy with this, the dogma, right, of like what is and isn't allowed. We don't have dogma about the diet, but we eat a healthy diet all the time. So we're not even in ketosis all the time. Like we've said many times before, we think that a carbohydrate intake should be contextual. It shouldn't just be dogmatically considered bad. So like we have kids. Do you think we put our kids on a full-on ketogenic diet? Our 5-year-old daughter who's growing, who we want to grow, do we want to calorie restrict her and put her in a state of ketosis where she's never hungry? No. So we give her carbs. You know, we keep, you know, she eats bananas, she eats fruits.
Right,
she eats yucca, starches.
Organic, healthy, whole food based carbs.
Exactly.
Right?
So
we
it's
still
like,
don't do grains or legumes.
cheating for us would be like, I mean, cheating. We don't use those words, right? Like, what is cheating?
Yeah.
Do you have a cheat day on your wife? Do you have a cheat day on, I don't know. It's like, hey, what about like if you used to be like a raging alcoholic, and you've been so good? Do you need a cheat day once a month where you just get wasted because you did so well? Or if you're quitting Xanax, like you get a cheat day once a month?
It brings the attention into like where a person's mind can go in relation to food, right? Because I remember in the very beginning, this is years ago now, when we started keto, I would get kind of like flare-ups, right? You get like odd memories would get triggered of like, oh, chocolate cake. Like, my life would be so much better if only I had a chocolate cake right now. And then if you dip in, it's a willpower thing, because if you dip in and you just submit to that, okay, I'll just do it just this one time. Then you eat it, and then, you know, it doesn't feel that good. So to push past it is very empowering. And it just helps you take more responsibility over your life and the way you're feeling. And then you don't even deal with all that guilt and shame and regret and anything that would come up.
It's
and
like, how do you
foundation.
define your diet? That's the thing. This is like, you cheat on your diet. No, and I don't define my diet in a way that ever allows me to even feel like I'm cheating. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my diet is not defined by narrow dogmatic parameters. I prefer eating keto most all the time. I just like how it feels. So most of the time I'm keto. And if I do eat carbs, it's like whole organic nutrient dense foods, and I still eat high fat, and I still eat like usually less than 70 grams of carbs. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, that's not cheating to me. It's like, what is cheating? You know, cheating is like, oh, I'm going to go smash like some Little Caesars pizza and feel like shit the next day. That's what I think of when I hear people say cheat day. You know, it's like Ben and Jerry's junk food stuff that, I don't like how I feel when I eat that stuff. So I eat things that make me feel good, and I don't cheat myself, and I don't. And that was one of the reasons why I made this baking book also, and why I made it with such a big variety in there, is because I did want it as a resource for people. When you have these strange feelings in the beginning, when you're adapting still, I mean, cravings come up, right? And so I was hoping that this book would be a resource, like an encyclopedia, where you could find whatever you're looking for. So it's called The Ultimate Guide to Low Carb Baking. How about resistance training? Half an hour, I feel like my power's at level 0. Electrolytes. So if you're just starting a ketogenic diet, make sure you're getting enough sodium, magnesium, and potassium. Before your workout, take like a teaspoon of salt, and that should help. All right. Genuine thoughts on Bitcoin. So many conflicting opinions out there. Genuine thoughts on Bitcoin. 25,000 before the end of the year. Solidly at 25,000. That's my genuine thoughts. 20,000 by end next week. Holding it. Unless something weird happens. Genuine thoughts on Bitcoin. I don't know. I mean, it depends on what you want to talk about, like concerning Bitcoin. I first heard, here's a crazy story. This is what I'll say about Bitcoin. And you could even find, I'll refer to a post that's on Steemit from a username, could say ACKZA. And this guy named names, and he edited his post later, but he named like all these names, sold out all his old little hacker friends for upvotes on Steemit. So I first heard about Bitcoin. Guess what year? 2009. I heard about Bitcoin soon after that white paper came out. Not because I was like super into like hacker stuff. I had some friends that were super into that stuff. So people I went to college with, people that I knew really well, were really into like, I don't know, just the whole crypto world, hacking, bot armies, and this crazy stuff. So I knew this guy, Zach. Zach had Tourette's syndrome. He was diagnosed Tourette's as a kid. But he was like actually pretty brilliant, but totally like just brain damage. Zach was crazy. Zach, where do I start? Zach was the first person I ever knew that uploaded a video to YouTube. And the video he uploaded, he videotaped, we went to University of California at Santa Cruz. And there was this weird tradition where like kids in the dorm rooms Their first year, I think actually it was just like everybody. During the first rain, everyone runs naked. Everyone gets naked and runs around. Woo! And that's like the thing at UC Santa Cruz. One of those things. Zach filmed that on a camera back in 2005. Everyone was running naked. He filmed it and put it on YouTube. And that was the first thing I heard about YouTube. First time I saw it. So then, that was in 2009 that Zach told me about Bitcoin. And he started trying to get people to mine Bitcoin in the dorm rooms at UC Santa Cruz because the kids who lived in the dorm rooms didn't have to pay for electricity. So he started trying to get together mining rigs and convince kids that were like incoming freshmen. He was like 22 at the time. He's trying to convince these 18-year-old kids to let him set up mining sites of Bitcoin in their dorms. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if he ever did it. Some other friends I knew like ordered mining equipment and never really fully got it running, and then people gave up. This was all, remember, Bitcoin came about after the banker bailout, so it was like kind of in a response to this. I never trusted it, especially back then. The story of how it came about always seemed really weird to me. To me, it just seemed like I don't know. I didn't trust it. But that's when I first heard about it. And I didn't buy any back then. It was pennies. It was literally pennies back then. And then in 2011, everyone was telling me, I remember Cliff High. This guy, Cliff High's Webbot. He was talking about Bitcoin.
You want a chocolate?
What's up, Ryder?
Check out my
Wow.
chocolates. They look like hearts.
So, all right. So let me finish the story. So Zach, the guy who told me about Bitcoin, knew this other guy who was like this crazy hacker. Apparently, he was famous. I forget his hacker name or whatever. This guy had thousands of Bitcoins. He had thousands. He was one of the first guys who was like talking about Bitcoin. And this individual was like kind of off his rocker. He was just this crazy hacker guy, like young kid, super, I don't know, just in a weird place. He wanted to take down the whole internet at one point, and he apparently was responsible for one of the biggest hacks and hacked like the army and the Department of Defense. No, but he like knew people, like these people talk online. There's these online communities even back then. This is before Facebook was even around. And this guy had a bunch of Bitcoin. He ended up dying of a drug overdose in 2014. Okay. And so like among these people I went to college with, it's well known that this dude had thousands of Bitcoins on a hard drive that nobody can get into. And so there's the legend of the thousands of Bitcoins from these like super sketchy hacker nerds.
Ryder's taking each chocolate individually and sampling it.
So there you go, Lucian.
Putting it back.
Thoughts on Bitcoin? I don't know, man. Don't know where it's going. 25 by the end of the year, though.
You're so cute.
All right, let's see.
Like them? So this is that mixture I was talking about earlier. It's melted cacao butter with cacao powder, spirulina, peppermint spirits, and a little bit of salt. And then I used Lakanto to sweeten it.
And Ryder approves.
And if you guys are into Lakanto, we have a coupon code called Primal Edge Health that'll get you 20% off.
They look really.
I like them. I could eat them all day. I can eat them all day.
They're so good.
And this is with the spirulina. This is one of my favorite ways to eat spirulina.
I like the salt.
This, and then I also like spirulina in cauliflower rice with loads of garlic and butter.
Nice. Frederick John Tang says, I'm thinking about taking coconut water while working out for potassium and magnesium. Look at the amount of potassium and magnesium that are actually in coconut water. It's not that much, man.
And there's carbs, right, in coconut water. So if you're trying to stay in keto, that's something to consider.
Well, yeah, that's what he's saying. He says,
around workout, yeah.
Okay, he says, wow. Daisy, stay. We got a horse fight. That was messed up. Why you do that? Get out of here. Let him be. He's such a bully. You got one horse bullying another horse.
Come on, guys.
That was crazy. So she says, sure, there are carbs, but I think it will all be burned during my workout. Look, yeah, if you do an intense workout, having some carbohydrates before is a strategy that many people use. That would be called a targeted ketogenic diet approach. So eating like 20 grams of carb before a workout. Look at Ryder. Ryder, what's up?
He liked them. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Mhm.
Here, let's get him off here because he's putting chocolate all over it. There you go. Ryder's obsessed with the chocolate. He loves it. Chocolate face. Coupon code for the Juve. Sean Emberts, the coupon code for the Juve, Joovv, is Primal Edge Health, all one word, all capital. So you get $25 off. It's actually pretty good. Okay, so Frederick, look, check how much magnesium, potassium there actually is in coconut water. There's not as much as you think there is. What you should do is take sodium before your workout. Make sure you're getting enough magnesium through just supplementing. 400 milligrams, 2 to 3 times daily, magnesium glycinate, plenty. And you can get potassium from foods like avocado, spinach, or you can just take like potassium citrate. You can buy potassium citrate in bulk. Miyamo says, have an exam tomorrow. Any supplementation advice, and any advice on speaking clearly and orderly as you do, sir. Oral exam. Supplementation for an oral exam. Well, there's probably nothing you're going to supplement with that's going to affect how you feel significantly tomorrow.
Daisy.
Daisy, get inside. Daisy's being a bully too.
Go on. Duke, go.
All right, you guys want to see the scene here?
Daisy, come on.
Here's Duke, who we thought was dying, but he decided he wants to live. Here's Daisy, who's been eating all of Duke's food and getting fat as Duke loses weight. Duke's 9 years old. He's a champ. And there's Ryder making a chocolatey mess all over our stuff. No. Yeah. Take it off of there. Ari, can you take the chocolate?
I did already.
Jeremy says, do you think a tanning bed can be safe enough way to activate vitamin D? It's freezing in Kansas today, but we'll probably just deal with it. Cloudy too. You know, getting outside, even when it's cold like that, can be... Getting outside, even when it's cold and cloudy, you can still get the UV light. A tanning bed in the winter, you know, I mean, it's... The downsides to tanning beds are the EMF exposure. That's what you're looking at. So, non-native electromagnetic fields will cause aberrations in cellular metabolism. So, I wouldn't recommend... Ryder, stay off there. Jessica, can you wash Ryder's hands? He's spreading chocolate everywhere. He's having a chocolate fest. Ryder's finger painting the world with chocolate. Yes. You like that? What's that called? Can you say dad dad? Dad dad. Dad dad. Dad 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 dad.
Come on, guy. Thanks. Thanks, Ryder.
So cool. Okay. So yeah, the tanning bed, there's upsides and downsides. I think it could be a good idea. Watch how good you feel afterwards. What I would rather do, I would rather spend my money rather than purchasing a subscription to a tanning bed place. I would be using red light therapy and then just getting out in the sun when I could. Eating vitamin D rich foods in the winter as well. Cod livers, beef liver. Those are really good sources of vitamin D. So you can actually get vitamin D from fatty fish and from liver. So you might want to look into that. Connected with Nature says Ryder is the chocolate killer. Ryder is a chocolate killer. And Ariana, do you need a nickname?
No.
Yeah.
What about you? You're like the chocolate maker.
No. The cheese lover. The cheese killer.
You're the cheese killer. The chocolate killer and the cheese killer. That's awesome. Mutant Stoner says hashtag stop horse bullies. No. Stop horsism. Ginger Williams has got a picture of a beautiful white dog whose face looks like my dog Daisy. Daisy's the best. John Titor, the time traveler. Recently saw your first video on exogenous ketones, and in that one you had a positive response. But since then your stance is that they're a waste. What changed your opinion? Nothing changed my opinion. If you actually watched that video, I said I enjoy it. I see it feels good, but that's because I got it for free. Somebody gave it to me. I haven't even taken it since then. So it's like, and I had fasted before I took them. So I kind of liked how they felt, but for $5 a dose, when you can increase your ketones just from not eating, it's just a waste of money. And what really annoys me is the way that they're marketed. So that's another thing, is people are telling others that if you just take these exogenous ketones, you're going to be in ketosis, you'll lose weight, blah, 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 blah. Completely untrue, completely misleading. Hey, Ryder, where you going?
Yeah.
What you got?
Chocolate.
Okay. So yeah, my chance hasn't really changed. I just, you know, when I first tried them, yeah, I made that video and said, feels kind of cool. I was surprised. Would I buy them? No. Especially not these MLM ones. All right. What else, guys? What else? Sean says, I meet my fat and carb macros, but consistently going over my proteins by about 10%. I'm still losing weight. Just learned about gluconeogenesis. Should I be concerned? Gluconeogenesis is required for ketosis. Gluconeogenesis is a demand-driven process, not a supply-driven process, meaning when your body senses, ooh, there's 10% more protein, it doesn't just say, cha-ching, let's turn that into chocolate cake, and then say, cha-ching, let's turn the chocolate cake into fat, and then say, cha-ching, let's store the fat. That's very misleading marketing copy that people use to get attention, and they love these extreme things and to freak people out. And gluconeogenesis is actually not the enemy of ketosis. It's the best friend of ketosis. Gluconeogenesis allows you to maintain ketosis. There's parts of the brain that require glucose. You need glucose in certain parts of the brain. On a ketogenic diet, that glucose got to come from somewhere. You can break down the backbone of fatty acid, which is glycerol. That glycerol backbone chain can be turned into glucose, but also amino acids can be turned into glucose. But your body doesn't just do it just because the protein's there. The body does it when it needs to do it. All right, someone said, what about cod liver oil instead of tanning bed sun exposure? There you go. You must have wrote that before I said it. So yeah, eating foods like cod liver oil, beef liver. These are good sources of vitamin D. Michelle says, I never thought to put spirulina in cauliflower rice. I might like to try that. Would it be okay with hot peppers? I like the rice spicy. Try it. Jessica?
Yeah, probably.
Jessica says, yeah. Whoa, check out Ryder. What are you doing? Chocolate and kettlebells. You gonna pick that up? It's only 16 kilos. Oh, you want to grab the phone with your chocolate hands? No. See, spread.
It's that precious.
No, it's just, rub chocolate all over all our shit.
I understand.
Light Phoenix says you guys are such an inspiration. She's talking about Jessica. Jessica, I'll point at Jessica. You're such an inspiration. So glad I found y'all's channel and found the advice so helpful in mine and my hubby's journey.
Yeah.
You trying to get that hubby less chubby?
Wife and husband power.
The journey to make hubby less chubby. You got it. Thanks for the shout out. Ron, what's up, man? Tristan, by chance, do you know about keratosis pilaris? Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not sure. It's a skin disorder, keratosis pilaris. Michelle says we have grass-fed cattle, not horses, in the horse capital. I love watching their interaction.
It's pretty cool. I've never been around such big animals before we got these guys. And at first I was kind of hesitant, but they're so chill. They're kind of like big dogs. They're really, really sweet. And they each have such a distinct personality. They're really fun to watch. The other day, Ariana and I we were riding them. We went down the hill to the main road, and we see like a crew of toros, the bulls going by, and they have the horns and the big old balls.
Super powerful.
And they're huge animals.
So strong.
But they're just so chill, and they're just walking from field to field.
Tristan, tell us something about your life plans. I mean about future. Live many more years, be happy, healthy, love my family, treat people well, serve the Creator as best I can. PJ Mo says, with a picture of Matthew McConaughey. Daisy, come here. What is she doing?
She's growling at him.
Daisy, get over here. Don't growl.
It's sweet though. She's actually protecting her territory up here.
She's like, get out of here.
Yeah,
Making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Daisy, you're so good. Just chill.
All right. What else, guys? Lunchtime up here. Catch you later, says Ron. Yeah. Maybe lunchtime around here soon, too.
I have the fish in the oven. I'm going to go check it.
Michelle says they're a lot like elephants like that.
Yeah.
They're a lot like elephants that they have friends. All right, guys. We're going to start wrapping this up. It's been about an hour. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff. I ran out of words about 5 minutes into this, guys. Like I realized before I started this, it's just like, man, I don't have it in me to talk a lot today. I've been talking a lot. on these live things and doing Facebook stuff and Instagram live. Check out our Instagram feed, guys. Make sure to sign up, or follow us on Instagram at Primal Edge Health. We're trying to build that little platform too. We'll do more Facebook live videos as well. What kind of fish is Jessica baking?
Swordfish.
Swordfish.
With roasted garlic and fennel.
Sean Embers, no problem, man. Glad we can answer your question. Hope it helps. Thanks for joining, everybody. You guys can find more at primaledgehealth.com. The books we mentioned, the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, which is for beginners, for anybody starting a keto lifestyle, as well as the Ultimate Guide to Low-Carb Baking are available exclusively at our website, primaledgehealth.com. We got Duke over here. Old man Duke, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Duke. All right. Duke's having... He looks so different. Our buddy. We remember when we picked up Duke when he was just a little puppy. Now he's 9. He says he doesn't want to die yet. He wants to snuggle us more. He's so sweet. There he is. Duke wants chocolate. Doggies can't eat chocolate. All right, everybody. Find more at primaledgehealth.com. We're signing out from the Andes over here. Look at that sunshine. See you later, guys.